Hey, my name's Rafa, and it's been a while since my last video, mostly because I got sick with a cold and I was like, tired, and I'm still yawning, and I just didn't really feel like doing anything. And I guess it would have been pretty boring with me being sick and tired. Like, this is a book. And anyway, so I this is Partners. It's written by Invisblewolf, and I wanted to do this because there's a few points that I thought of when I first read it 9 months ago. I was up in Queensland staying with a friend, and I took this because it was like a short novella. I'm like, I can read this occasionally and have it done. And I got it from Third Planet, like in a order with a bunch of like other books. And I got it because it looked interesting. I mean, I liked Thousand Leaves by Kevin Frayne, which I will do once I get better production quality. And I like near future. It's kind of interesting, like sci-fi stuff. And after I first read it, like I didn't really walk away happy with it. One of the things I did is like I want to message the author. And so I'm like, so I flipped through the back of the book, couldn't find anything. So I ended up messaging for Planet because my Google searching of his name didn't turn up anything. So I'm like, is there a way to contact this author? He's like, yeah, he's got a FA. And then I found his FA and I sent him a note. And I talked to him a little bit, and he's a pretty cool guy. And I guess thinking more on the book, um, it has grown on me, but I guess that's a bit of hindsight because I guess I'm feeling more in myself. Um, but well, at least so yeah, I read the book, didn't really like it. Talked to the author for a bit, and then I thought about the book some more, and I've been thinking about. I was thinking about it a few weeks ago when I was originally going to talk about it, and the things I initially didn't like about it is I thought the characters were too perfect. Um, like it felt like one of those is kind of scrubby stories you see online where it's like, oh yeah, this is cool, and then you actually think about it, it's not so great. So yeah. Anyway, so the story basically is there's this Timber is I think probably a wolf, Timber Wolf. He's a wolf, and he's a researcher for Dust, um, and he's good with hacking and computers, and he's just a generally awesome guy and lives by himself and is perfect. And then he gets like he does some missions with what's your name's with the TEA, and he does some missions with the TEA, and then recently he got this very mysterious message from, oh, is it Bal? I think it was Bal. Bal, the leader of TEA, sends you a message like, oh, you've got priority assignment. Meet Agent Spirit Wolf at the airport. And he goes and tries to do some research on this Spirit Wolf and couldn't really find much. It's like, oh, it's mysterious. And then he meets him, and then he's a bit weird because he's covered in bandages and he's wearing some sunnies. And then, yeah, they talk for a bit, go back to their place, and uh, at first there's like trust issues and all that good stuff. And I guess I don't really want to like go too deep into the story because it is a short novella, and I think it is worth reading. Mainly if you read a lot. I wouldn't say, sadly, I wouldn't say it's like a book like, oh, get it over something else. And I pick it up in like companion and then read it because it is cool, some great ideas, and I guess one of the reasons why it grew on me is so yeah, I don't really want to go into the story too much, but I do want to go into the characters. Some of my deeper grievances is there's this scene about halfway through the book where uh Timber, I think, uh, snap decision. Timber throws a grenade that he made and kills some dude, and then I find this actually in most forms of media, like TV shows and other written forms, where they never do it well. Whenever they have the characters like, oh my god, I've killed someone, and then they have the shattered, that they have their world shattered because they've never killed someone before, and I feel like there's one scene in a James Bond movie. I always think they're a bit ham-fisted. At least in terms of partners, I thought it was ham-fisted because Timber made the grenades, right? So clearly he made them with the intent to kill someone, um, or with the intent knowing that they would kill someone, and then to be shocked that these grenades that I made, where their sole purpose is to kill someone, actually killed someone, is a bit jarring. Um, but also the Iron Man movie had that with Tony Stark, but I think that was more focused on like his character, where like he wasn't there was a disconnect between what he made and what it did, because he wasn't. It was more of his company and his name attached to it. Whereas in this book, Timber physically made this grenade, and he was shocked when the grenade he made killed someone. Whereas Tony Stark was shocked that like the stuff that his company was making with his name on it was killing people. I guess he just didn't think about it. But even then, that was still a bit. It's like really, like, you're making missiles. Of course they kill people. It's not like you're making electric toasters that explode. Um, and then being shocked that the electric toaster that you made killed someone. That's fair enough. But this is like something that's made to kill someone, and I thought that was weird. I can't really fault Agent Spiritwolf's character because at least he makes sense. Like, he's super agent, so he's gonna be super good. Though he did seem a bit flaky for me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just thinking about it, there's not much I can really fault about Spiritwolf. Like, maybe if I maybe if I was to read through it again, I'd find something, but other than that, like, it made sense for him to be perfect. Timber, not so much. I mean, like, how much, like, he must have, like, so much time on his hands, because all the stuff that he allegedly does, well, not, well, allegedly does, like, he's a good video gamer, he's a good hacker, he's really good looking, I mean, the only thing he doesn't have is friends, which is kind of sad when you think of it. And then, other than that, there's only, like, one or two more characters. There's the cyborg dude, and I can't remember his name. And then there's Bal, the leader of the TEA, which he has some secret power that I still haven't figured it out. And the author was telling me that no one else has figured it out, but no, Bal was interesting. Like, thinking more on his character, like trying to work it out, like, he's actually quite well-rounded. I mean, who doesn't like a cocksure fox character? Um, and that's mostly it. I mean, it is a novella, like, it's a very tight, focused story, so there's not too much to go in depth in. Well, other than spoiler, Agent Spiritwolf is an invisible wolf, and yeah, there's some interesting takes on it in there, and like when he eats something, like, it's interesting form of invisibility. Like, they explain it a little bit, but like basically if he eats something, you can still see it being digested, because like the um the matter that's been forced inside of his body is not part of the invisibility, though. Um, the though like I well, I was thinking like, well, if it's being wrapped in stomach acids, which are invisible because they're his, how would you still see it? But then you don't see the stomach acids because they're invisible. That's how you still see it, and it's kind of a gross image when you really think about it, like watching someone digest food. Um, oh, that's it. I forgot. The big grievance I had through the whole book is, well, basically two things. I had no idea it was gonna have a sex scene in it, and oh fuck, there was another, and reading through the book at the start, I didn't think that Timber was gay, and when it was like kind of revealed, I was like, like it wasn't really in the idea of the character I had built for myself at the start, because um like you think someone that reads like furry fiction, like that's common assumption, but for me I still just assumed him to be, um straight until revelation, and and yeah, there was a bit of a adjustment period that I had when when I was like, oh, okay, so he's gay now. And there was another story that I thought was a bit more annoying, is that it was the White Crusade by I think it's Ben Goodrich, which was the first furry book I ever got, and I don't have it anymore. Um, Fortunately, I really didn't enjoy it. Um, Maybe if I read it through now that I'm like 7 years older, I would enjoy it. But from what I remember, I didn't enjoy it because it was an interesting story and concept. But towards the end of the book, there's this huge shift in the main character where he's gay and just becomes this incredibly weak character because he just starts thinking with his dick to fall in love with this horse towards the end. And it was this really strong, self-determined, independent character, and then he meets this horse, and then yeah, it gets really shit. Um, but there was some good like imagery in that book. I'll give it that. And but we're not talking about that, and we probably won't because I don't have it anymore. And yeah, but I think that's more a fault on me. And I guess speaking of like faults on the author, is in the previous video when I was talking about the furry comics with larger than life characters, with like Shelby and the coyote and the other dude with all the outfits, and I was thinking how like in comics and other like visual media, it's okay to have these perfect characters that can do everything, yet in writing there's this disconnect where like it's not okay. And I was thinking, is that just me, or is that just more of the culture where you don't expect a higher quality from the writing of comics, especially when the artist is doing the writing and the drawing, um, which I think should not be true. Like I think you should. There's still both forms of writing, and you should probably hold them at the same standard anyway. Um, but then on the flip side, it's a comic. There's less space for character development and all that. Whereas in a written form, you can go on for however long as you like, and really put the detail in there if you get it right. And yeah, so I guess that was the turning point with partners for me when I actually thought about that, and how I have that little double standard. And it has definitely grown on me. Like, I guess I have definitely become biased talking to the author and hearing his story, where basically is it, it's a lot of years. He's basically been writing this novella for like, I think a good part of a decade, and he was finally got it out, and like totally congrats, like something that you've worked on for that long and actually have it like published. That's really cool, and it is getting me super excited for uh, the the sequel that he's been talking about, and and he has also mentioned plans for a prequel as well, to do with the 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 Omega Squad, the Alphas. I can't remember the name of the secret team. But actually, speaking of secret teams, another problem I had is the use of acronyms. Like, I don't know if it was just because I'm Australian, and there really isn't too much acronyms in the government, at least over here. It's all very plain. Um, and the acronyms used in this, where there's the TEA, which is the Tech Enforcement Agency, and DAS, which is the uh, what is it? Directorate of Advanced Science and Technology, and I think it wasn't until like halfway through the book when I'm reading these acronyms, I'm like, what the hell do they mean? And like, saw they're on the back of the blurb on the book, but I guess I didn't notice them when I read the blurb, because yeah, I was like getting halfway through the book, and I'm like, what do these acronyms mean? And then someone finally name dropped what the acronyms meant, and I'm like, couldn't you have done that sooner? But I guess I can't fault the author for that when it was on the back of the book, and yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. I think that's mostly it. Only other thing I can remember is that uh, the author did use the word penis in a sex scene, and that took me right out. But I think that's mostly just me. Like, whenever I see the word penis, I just completely taken out of the story. And yeah, other than that, it's good. I mean, it has definitely grown on me. If I made this video straight after reading it, I probably wouldn't have said as many flattering things. But I guess that's with a lot of things, you know. You get your first impressions, and then you sit on it and you think about it a few days later. Or especially when you go back and reread something. Like, I'm rereading Isolation Play, and there's so many scenes that I just forgot. And oh, also, I was talking to a friend of mine about the Out of Position series books, and I kept mentioning how I forgot what happened in Isolation Play and Divisions, the third one. Um, but yeah, that's it. Anyway, go check out the book. I'll link it in the description, and I think he might have some short story up on his FA, which I'll chuck in the description too. So I definitely go check it out. Anyway, catch you later.